I hope you're having a fantastic day today. Dave K here today, sharing with you my personal development journey, working on my mindset and being mindful and positive and contemplative, and looking forward to sharing it all with you today. Today, I'm talking you through my personal development journey, working on a few different things in order to get me to the place where I want to be in terms of my mindset, the way that I think, and the way that I approach situations. I'm making this video today mostly for me to be able to share and talk through my thoughts, to be able to really solidify what I'm working on, my understanding, and where I'm coming from and where I'm going. And I hope you find enjoyment from this video as well, but really wanted to take this time and share something with you that really means something to me, and something that I think I've been trying to work on for a while, but I think I have a much clearer picture and a much better picture now of some actions that I can take and things that I can do to get my mindset to where I want it to be. Starting off, I'm going to recommend the 9 Mindsets of Mindfulness video. It's a really good video. I'm viewing it, and I've viewed it a couple times here on YouTube. It's a mindfulness journey by John Kabat-Zinn. I wasn't really familiar with him, but perhaps I will link that video on this video somewhere around here, whether it's in the attachments or the description below. But I want to talk you through what this video means to me, my journey in personal development, and how I'm relating some of my challenges into some of these mindsets that I want to work on to get where I want to be. There's a bunch of different mindsets in that video which we can go into, but I want to touch on those that have been most meaningful and most impactful to me in the past few days, and of course something I've wanted to work on in the past few weeks. But now that I'm getting a clearer picture of exactly what can be done, maybe what some of the challenges are that I want to work past, I'm able to connect those challenges to these mindsets to move towards where I want to be. One of the biggest mindsets here that I'm really focusing on for myself is a non-judging. It's a really interesting mindset here, where a lot of the times we have the tendency to make assumptions about the world around us, to determine what is good or bad, or what is or isn't a way that something should be in the world. And this can be reflected on items and objects in the world, just our environments, but it can also be reflected on ourselves, right? As we look at ourselves and things that we do or things that we feel, we can easily judge ourselves and feel like, I shouldn't feel this way, or I should feel this way. This is good, this is bad. I shouldn't speak to this, I should speak to this. And I've really been thinking about that a lot lately, where I'm realizing just how much I judge my own actions, or I have judged my own actions throughout life. And it's really relaxing and really refreshing in the past few days here to think about, as I feel certain ways about certain things. For example, I don't love being around bugs, and I'll swat at bugs that are around me because I don't want them to be super close. And to work on not overly judging myself for this aversion to insects, and to be able to just accept that that's the way that I am, allows me to, one, not add additional judgment on myself. For example, judging the judgment of the bugs is really nice. It gives you some mental freedom to be able to take a breath, relax, and potentially, if it's something that you wish to change, or something that maybe you question being the best thing for you, it allows you to look at it from an external perspective and say, okay, I'm accepting this. Why is it that I do this? And get an understanding of the motivations behind some of the actions. And I think I have a tendency to want to keep bugs away, to swat bugs away, because I'm worried about insect bites, getting bitten by different mosquitoes or other creatures. And this is a very real concern, but when you take it and you put it into perspective of life and understand how much of an impact that'll have over the course of a day or a week versus the next year, or the next 5, 10, 20 years, you can really put the minor matter into perspective. And whether or not you or I continue to swat at those bugs to keep them away from ourselves, or we allow those bugs to get closer to us maybe than we want to be, allow them to walk on us, it really won't be that large of an issue in 10 years or 20 years for us. It really doesn't matter. So there's no reason to stress about the matter of whether or not I allow the bugs to be nearby. I can choose to keep them away or not keep them away, but to add the additional stress and judgment on myself for being averse to swatting the bugs away as much as other people do, or reacting so intensely when it comes to insects, and removing them from my equation just adds more stress and more tension to the picture, which I can remove and which I can reduce by not judging myself for behaving in that way. And the other mindset that ties right into this one, in a way, is acceptance, and accepting the way that things are in the world, accepting our behaviors for ourselves. So two kind of connect there, at least for me, and the way that I view them and I interpret them, and that I want to work on them in my own life. Non-judging and acceptance is almost seems like two opposites to me. But judgment doesn't mean you reject something. It just means that you're putting pressure in a particular, you're putting a view on it in a particular way. Another really interesting mindset here is non-striving, and I would put acceptance in with non-striving as well, where I have personality traits where I really have big goals, and I want to accomplish big things and get a lot of things done, and I'm always trying to work in a way. And I think this is very common, particularly in our country and in our country's culture, in that we spend a lot of time at work. We don't take a lot of breaks or a lot of holidays. We work long days sometimes, depending upon what you do, what your profession is. I've worked many hours in my life. One of my first jobs coming out of school was 14, 16 hours a night. I find myself working 80 hours a week. And I'm wondering if some of that has been ingrained into me and that I always need to be working. I don't think it's a bad thing by any means to have these big goals for myself, but to be able to also be flexible. And I want to talk about this more, maybe in a future video. I'm not sure if it'll be this video or another video, but I've talked about many times my dream of being in entertainment, and particularly I want to be a superhero, sort of like an Iron Man or some other large-scale hero. But it's important for me to understand that there may be some flexibility needed in that. There may be some challenges along the way which might require me to adjust in order to get there. For example, I don't think I could get easily cast for a new Iron Man today. Instead, there would be a journey to get there in terms of being in a variety of other films and continuing to build up other outlets like my YouTube channel, or maybe be in some other types of shows, smaller scale shows, not the hero, but maybe a background character, those types of things, in order to move towards that goal. So there's a flexibility in acceptance of this is the way that things are, and maybe I can't strive towards that particular goal immediately today and put so much pressure on it without having a clear roadmap to get there, but I can still work towards that goal with the acceptance of flexibility and how things might change or take a while in order for me to get there. And the point I was going to talk about next, which may be its whole own separate video, is my growing interest and my growing passion to find myself in reality TV and to be a part of some of these reality TV shows that I know and love. One of my favorites I've been watching lately, which I've got my fingers crossed for, and again, maybe we'll make a video on regarding my journey to be a part of reality TV shows, is The Circle. And it's a really entertaining show that I enjoy on Netflix. But back to the point here, Dave, we're detouring a little bit. The point was, by thinking about reality TV, for me, it allows me to be myself and continue to build on that energy and the understanding of myself, but also share it with you in a way that has that big energy and that positivity and that enthusiasm that I always love to share with you, and continue to build on that more and more towards that film direction, right? So there's some variance there in terms of just everyday life. You've got the YouTube, you've got the reality TV, and then all the way at the other end of the spectrum, there's a whole character that you play in a particular film. Whereas in reality TV, you're being yourself in like a bigger energy, right? So there's like a spectrum there in terms of variation in how you might normally speak, right? I add a little bit more energy to these videos, I add a lot more energy to a reality TV show, and I'm someone totally different in movies. So having that acceptance of there may be multiple paths for me to get towards these goals, and maybe I won't find myself on The Circle as my reality show that I'm really hoping to be on. Maybe I'll find myself ending up on something like Survivor first, and continue to put in for all these other shows that might be good fits for me, or some that might be really challenging for me, but worthwhile experiences that I would be interested in having, and paths that I would be interested in taking in order to continue to move towards my ultimate passion without worrying too much about, am I going to hit this particular target on this particular date? And again, I do think goal setting and working towards objectives is very important. I just think I do it at a very intense level, and it drives me to constantly be working, whereas I need to consider and give myself some time when I'm feeling like taking a break, to take breaks as well. And tying into that, another big goal that I'm working on for myself is patience. One of these mindsets is patience in terms of accepting that, yes, I've set myself timelines. For example, I wanted to be in a film by the age 30, but to accept and be patient that there's a lot of time in there between now and then, and there's a lot of time after that age that I'll have to continue to work towards this goal that I have. So being able and willing to accept that things take time to achieve, and really life is a long game here, right? It's a long journey for me to get to where I want to be. So I'd rather find myself making videos maybe once a week that I really enjoy and really get me excited to say, I love doing this, love making videos, than to find myself in a position where I'm making videos every single day or twice a day and say, this feels like so much work, I'm adding stress to myself. And I've always enjoyed making videos. I'm not saying that's a reality. I'm just saying that's the place I'd rather put myself in. And so as I make videos lately, instead of saying to myself, oh, this is an opportunity to video, this is an opportunity to video, I'm trying to say to myself, oh, this is something really interesting and really exciting that I really want to video. So maybe I'm going back to Chewy's for the 407th or 408th time. But instead of videoing it saying, hey, here's a video that I could create, I'm trying to say, hey, is this something I really get excited about the idea of videoing? Is this something I really want to share with you? And similarly, is this something that I think you would really enjoy and be excited by seeing? So there's a patience component in terms of accepting in myself that I will have these exciting videos and I'll have these exciting goals that I'll achieve and work towards, but those can take time, and I need to accept that. It's a long journey, right? The turtle beat the hare in that race, tortoise and the hare. You know what I'm talking about. The bunny and the turtle race, right? The bunny ran out of energy, turtle kept going. He got there, you know? So it's a long game. The race goes on for a while. It's a marathon, not a sprint. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm going to continue to work towards that marathon journey in terms of my goals, in terms of my personal development as well, in terms of improving my non-judging and my acceptance and my patience, and building a better reality for myself, improving those relationships, improving how I approach some of my goals and some of my dreams, and continuing to improve my everyday life. Considering this information, do you feel like there are certain mindsets that you want to implement a little bit more, some mindfulness exercises that you want to bring into your everyday life? Are you able to take the stresses going on in the world right now, or maybe stresses from work, or stresses from big goals you have for yourself, and combine those with this positivity or this patience, gratitude? As you know, I've mentioned, something I do in the mornings is I say positive affirmations. I appreciate everything around me. I appreciate waking up and being able to be here. But something else I've been adding in is appreciating things that I've done as well, my successes and the traits that I have that I enjoy. For example, that commitment to achieving a lot over the course of a day, like really being busy and active and always working. There's a lot to appreciate about those traits. So can you find those ways to integrate those stresses and bring the positivity alongside it to make them more challenges and goals as opposed to stresses and issues throughout your life? Thanks so much for helping me make today an amazing, incredible day. And remember, that's what this is all about. It's about creating an amazing, positive day for yourself. It's about telling yourself what you are passionate about and how today is a fantastic day, what makes it so great, what makes you so great, and why you should be thankful for today. That's what makes a day a fantastic day, in addition, of course, to all the other things you might enjoy, whether it's great food or theme parks or cruises or whatever else. You just got to remember to make it an amazing day in your mind, and that will help breed more and more amazing days throughout your life. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more amazing days in video form, because videos from Dave also always breed amazing days. Am I right? I mean, come on. Thanks so much for being a part of it. I'm looking forward to sharing so much more with you soon. Would you like to hear a similar video about my reality TV journey or my film journey and my passion for being involved in film, the different shows that I've been applying for, my hopes and dreams, maybe ranking out the shows that I want to be on the most or shows that I want to be on the least? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And again, so thankful, as always, to be able to share the adventures with you. So much more to come. Maybe we'll be slow, maybe we'll be fast. Depends how often I find something that I'm excited, enthusiastic with sharing with you, and I hope you're excited and enthusiastic about seeing them too. Looking forward to it, and until next time, play on. Today I'm going to talk you through my personal development journey. My phone will not stand up. It's crazy. I'm just trying to read. Just trying to read some notes about mindsets and mindfulness.